belt, goes right up to Alan and goes like that. What do you think about this, you dickhead? But no, I mean, then I went to Mexico City with them, and then Liam is just an absolute mad as an atom. Went to Mexico City, you know, they played Concert Oasis in Mexico City. And they get there and he says, and he introduces me to the crowd in Mexico City, and he went, "Ladies and gentlemen, my mate Ricky Hatton," and all these Mexicans go, "Hey!" And he said, "You've heard of him, haven't you, Ricky Hatton?" And all the Mexicans go, "Yay!" He went, "Yeah, he's not fuck out of a few of your lot in his time in Mexico City." I thought, I've only not been with him 2 days, he's going to get me killed. But, you know, the manner of that performance, I got the chance to fight for the pound-for-pound title again against Manny Pacquiao. I was doing all right in that fight, you know, I was putting up a great performance, and then I got in the ring. But I mean, these fighters as they go along, they're looking more and more, you know, like, you know, they were modern day greats, and with each win that they both do, they're looking like all-time greats. So it was very hard for me to come to terms with them defeat. And that might be half the reason why it, you know, I landed myself in a lot of trouble I have been recently, but I'm on the mend and fighting fit. I've lost about 2 stone in weight, and with each fight that Manny wins and Floyd wins, it's, you know, it's reinforcing my view that you can hold your head up high. You didn't get beat by the best, so you know.
Good, Ricky! And yes, Phil!
I'm going to end now because we're going to do an interview with this fucker who thinks he's Michael Parkinson. Yeah, that didn't last long. But no, we're going to do some questions and answers now. But I mean, like I said, when I first started talking to you, that one of my proudest achievements was the following I had. You know, I like to think I give boxing fans a lot of entertaining nights. But my boxing hero was Roberto Duran, and Roberto Duran was. He was like a man of the people. He was a no-nonsense fighter. He went forward, he attacked, he took on the best. I'd like to think that's what I did in my career. And I've always been a fan of them type of fighters, you know, the people that get stuck in and don't like to take a step backwards. You know, people like Duran, Marvin Hagler, Julio Cesar Chavez. I mean, even Mike Tyson, when he first won the title, was a 21-year-old. Remember him when he first won the title, a 20-year-old? What a fucking animal. Imagine finding him in bed with your missus. You fucking took him in, wouldn't you? Thank you for having me to come and share. You know, we're leading into Christmas now. It's the end of the year, it's a celebration party for you. And thank you for having me and coming playing my little part. I'm going to do a quick interview now, but as always, if you are a Ricky Hatton fan, thank you. Now I've had the gloves up. Thank you for all the support.
I challenged Ricky Hatton to an arm wrestle. Seriously, we're actually going to have an arm wrestle, so if we can bring the stand out. Whatever you do, just don't snap my arm. That lasted as long as I thought it was going to last, to be honest.
That was one of the greatest moments of my career.
Yeah, stop the rest of them. If you could just sign these for us really quickly. Cheers, buddy. Cheers, buddy. So obviously, we're both from the streets, just to let you know, Manchester. You're from Hattersley, which is known for maybe not being the nicest area of Manchester or Stockport.
Hattersley Village, no, in fact, Hattersley was more famous, if you do know your history, more famous for the Moors murderers. You know, year ago, Mara Hindley and Ian Brady. And then I moved, shortly after, I moved from Hattersley to Hyde. And Hyde was more famous for Dr. Harold Shipman. And he had a faster jab than fucking me. That's not had too much to shout about, but I'd like to think if they mention Hattersley and Hyde now, you might mention that little fat boxer who's put a bit of good back into the area, I suppose. Yeah.
Definitely. And when you were growing up around there, what kept you away from maybe bad influences or what, kind of going off the rails, if that makes sense, kind of staying trained rather than maybe doing wrong stuff?
Well, I'm sure, a lot of people that are from council estates, generally when you leave school, there's you can go into robbing, and so many, bad paths you can go down. But I just had for boxing, and it's weird because I went into the boxing gym just on the council estate, from a young age, I just basically wanted to. I said, let's go to the boxing club. What do we do that for? And I just said, for a fight. And that's really why I just went to the boxing club, because I was a little tail away. I wanted to go to the boxing club and have a fight. But then when I realised that I got quite good at it and reasonably good at it, I'd like to think it made me a better person, because boxing's not just about producing champions. You've got to have discipline, fitness, respect for your gym mates, and that's, I think, the boxing. And you hear that so many success stories from boxing. Mike Tyson, one of them, where you can go from a life of where you could go down the wrong way to it makes gentlemen out of idiots, doesn't it, really?
And when did it click on for you that you were actually pretty good at it?
I started training from a very, very young age. From 16, my amateur coach was a former professional and he used to take me to the professional gyms training, and I was able to train with people at the time, with Bobby Reed, who was the world champion at the time, and then there was Pat Barrett from Manchester, and then I went to Billy Graham's gym in Salford, where there was Carl Thompson, who had them wonderful fights with Eubank, and Steve Foster and Ensley Bingham, and they started at 15, 16, they started to say, well, Ricky, if you keep at it, you can be a world champion. And I think that's when I started taking it serious, because it wasn't just your best mate saying, oh, you're going to be a world champion. When current champions are telling you at 15, then you started to believe it.
Right. Okay, and how did your family react when you said you wanted to be a boxer?
Didn't like it at all. It's strange where the boxing comes from, because normally boxing or what you do is something that's passed down through the generations. Either your dad or your granddad or somebody has done it, but that was never the case in our family. If you took one look at my dad, you'd think, how the fuck has he produced a champion? Well, he's about 4 foot nothing. Small. He's the only man I know with a full-length photograph in his passport. My mum, on the other hand, was a bit. She was the one who had the left hook in the family. But nobody in the family had ever done it. So it's quite strange where it come from.
They're from a completely different industry, aren't they? You worked in a carpet shop, is that right? And then
yeah, I was the world's worst carpet fitter. But I wanted to turn professional at 18, and my dad wanted me to feel what it was like to work first, because I went straight from amateur to professional, and he put me in the carpet shop, and Car was carpet fitting, and when he saw the state of carpet fitting, he said, Jesus, Ricky, turn pro. And so that's what I did, and then I was 18.
And when you stepped in the ring for a professional fight for the first time, what was running through your head? Because I'd be shitting myself.
Yeah, well, that does not surprise me.
What's happening?